Early in the year 2009, the Chapel Door, a small ecumenical congregation in Fairview, North Carolina, had a big heart for missions and enough land to plant a garden that they felt could feed the hungry. Realizing the good of inviting other churches and talented farmers to join in the effort, a synergistic miracle occurred. Still lively in the Fairview community was a dream to resurrect the Lord's Acre, a cooperative effort that blossomed during the 1930s. Local farmers came together and gave a portion of their harvest to feed the poor. This movement spread throughout the United States. With no idea really of how to proceed, the Chapel Door had a neighboring farmer plow a small plot of the vacant hayfield. In just a matter of weeks, a number of churches and the most gifted farmers in the area came together and began building a 1/4 acre garden that produced 3 tons of food in its first season. All the food went to a local food bank called Food for Fairview. Miracles came to the Lord's Acre in form of the Chapel Door's land, an impassioned and committed steering committee, a gifted garden manager with a just as gifted husband, people skills, money donations, donations of equipment, volunteers to work in the garden, and a rainy season which, following a 2-year drought, contributed much water, hope, and inspiration. The Lord's Acre was even blessed with a seasoned video photographer who developed a short film of the historic first harvest.
Lord's Acre was started by people in Fairview, primarily from churches, but also not, to grow food for the hungry. There's more people hungry in Fairview all the time, there's less donations to the food banks, and most of the food they get comes either in a box or a can. So our goal is to serve the Lord and to serve our community by providing fresh, organic produce every week to them.
It's so exciting being a part of this project, providing food for the hungry. But another aspect of this project is how it's creating community. It's so exciting to see how much support we've received from the community. Trailer loads of compost, expensive water pumps. It's just been absolutely magnificent how the community has responded and how a community is being developed around the garden.
Every week, a lot of people come out and volunteer in this garden. It's your chance to really get your hands in the earth and to give food to our neighbors.
Well, this is a very exciting day. This is our first harvest at the Lord's Acre, and just 3 months ago we were in pasture, grass pasture. And with the help of the entire community, we've been able to till up this ground, turn it into beds, turn it into row crops, put cover crop in, fence it, build a shed, and now we're harvesting and ready to bring our first baskets of produce to Food for Fairview. Since Food for Fairview opens its doors on just once a week, we know this lettuce won't make it till next week without bolting. So we could pick the leaves of it, and then it'd be able to keep producing. But I think people prefer it this way as a head. I think it keeps better in their refrigerator. This lettuce was a gift from another farm, and then it got hit by hail, and we weren't sure it was going to make it, and it started coming back. Then the rabbits started getting it, and then we really weren't sure it was going to come back. And now here it is. We were patient, and it worked.
Okay, well, I'm a volunteer with Food for Fairview. It's a real blessing right now being able to get all this fresh produce. With your gardening efforts and a few others, gleaners in the area, we seem to have plenty of fresh produce, which the people certainly enjoy. So we appreciate everything you all have been doing for us.
The Lord's Acre needs you. Come join us.
And they did come, first in handfuls, then in dozens, and eventually hundreds. They came as individuals, couples, families with children, church and civic groups, college groups, Boy and Girl Scout troops. Volunteers even came from a local women's detention center. Not all at once, of course. Some came once, some many times, and some every time work was being done in the garden. They came to work the garden, and they came to support the numerous fundraisers that always included music and good food and often a square dance. These volunteers were a critical component necessary for the Lord's Acre to meet 3 significant goals in its long-term vision. The first goal was food. Just like its predecessor, the Lord's Acre was created in a time when there was a growing need to provide food for those in need. In order to ensure that this goal would be met long-term, a nonprofit corporation was established to provide over time nutritious organic vegetables to those in need. The second goal was creating community, people of diverse backgrounds coming together with a common purpose to make a difference, enjoying growing food, music, service, and just being together. The third goal was education. The Lord's Acre provided a wide variety of educational opportunities for all age groups so that the wisdom and experience of the garden managers and experienced gardeners and the experiences in the garden could be used in people's own backyards. This 21st century Lord's Acre became a model for gardens around the world, not only for feeding those in need, but bringing diverse individuals from different economic backgrounds together in community, making a difference for future generations.